Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And today's video giving you an update or recap on the AMA that was streamed on the 19th. No, I didn't get to this sooner, but for those of you that had had a chance to listen to it, it's about 2 hours, hour and a half, something like that. AMA. Thanks to Lee. Shout out to Lee on Dritopian for streaming that. There was a Telegram issue in the middle of it somewhere where Forex was talking about the fiat on ramp and just disappeared for about 15 minutes. He got muted and didn't realize it, so we never got those answers. But as always, I'm going to be recapping. I just finished listening to it, but recapping from the ladies of the Faucet, the notes that they put out. I don't remember which one this is. This Irene's or Wonder Woman's? Lady Mania. Yeah, I remember who actually made this one. So shouts out to the ladies of the Faucet in general. But anyway, so he did cover some stuff on Drip. I know that's what I'm most concerned about, but also some updates on the farm and that this is definitely the season of the animal farm. Ray spoke about this. He spoke about this again. Basically, the attention is on the animal farm and it's going to be there because it's the culmination of all things he's learned from Drip, from Reap, from B Reap, all this stuff. And he wants to make it basically independent and not gate kept the way Drip is. So we'll get to those notes later, but that's just a TLDR for those that you don't want to stick around. So some of the updates. Basically, he mentioned that what they're going to be doing going forward is trying to have deadlines met with flawless execution. So any of you that have been around and been watching my channel or been through any of the past AMAs or launches that Forex has scheduled, we know they have always been subject to Forex Standard Time. So he said now going forward, no matter what the update or release will be, he plans on making it a big deal and ensuring that they market it, do the countdown, and that everything goes flawlessly. So I'm assuming this is coming feedback from his marketing guy and maybe the PR guy, and they want him to clean up that act so that it brings positive sentiment back into the fold. And yeah, that would be great to see. But so as of right now, he hasn't released any dates, so we don't know anything about the upcoming projects. Next on the list is supposed to be the auto compound and the dogs roulette, and then scratchy and drip UI somewhere in there. So anyway, all these new updates that he's going to be doing will all come with completion, 100% completion, and not the FST 100% completion, but actually being done. And then he'll actually announce a launch date. And this means that regardless of if devs pull out of the project or something unforeseen happens, it was indeed already done before they started the marketing. So we will see how that goes, and maybe I'll change my tune on being hopeless, what I call that, cautiously optimistic. But for now, we will see how that goes. But it is positive to hear that he's trying to move in a forward direction and not have these past hiccups and sore open wounds basically for failed launches and stuff like that. I know that has definitely killed a lot of sentiment in the project. So we'll see what happens going forward. He did address that and says that that's what he's going to do. So we just have to sit back and wait and see. He said there's heavy focus on the auto compounding dog pound. We are the first to do an auto compounding concept where the asset you are earning at the end is not the asset that you are auto compounding, i.e. you are auto compounding BNB to get the dog BNB LPs, which turn into PIGG's token. So this was some innovative stuff that he did, and they wanted to make sure that it was basically operating at peak condition. So there's been a couple updates where instead of the tokens being sit on the contract and then being sent to the user, it's basically being sent to the user directly, and that just kind of speeds up the accumulation and stuff like that. So these are things that happen behind the scenes, but that's what they've been monitoring for the past 2 to 3 weeks now since the launch so that they can implement this stuff. BNB Vault for the dog pound allocates the BNB rewards based on the share of users across the linear auto pool. They are not treated as separate pools as to the way BNB is allocated. So this was an update to him saying that what they're going to do is create a 10% more allocation in the auto compounding pool and 10% less in the linear pool, which creates a 20% spread. So the whole point of this is that he wanted to have a more positive, bullish reason to be in the auto compounding. So if you're not familiar, you have these two pools, auto compounding and linear, and basically you can stake in either one, but coming soon will be, this will have a 10% bonus BNB allocated towards it, and this one will have 10% less, so that means there's a 20% spread between the two, and it's all to make this more attractive, because remember, this is the quicker way to pay down your taxes, and it pays out in pigs. So I'm pretty much in this one with the bulk, but I was taking my once a week, taking my dividends that I earned on the farm and then creating a stake. So on the 11th I had 1.22, and then on the 20th, 9 days later, I had another 1.27. So maybe I'll go back to auto compounding, but I don't want to create a bunch of stakes, so I might go to just once every 2 weeks or something like that. I'm not sure, but I already hate the fact that I got a bunch of piggy bank stakes. So anyway, let's go to the next update. Next thing coming will be an increase in the BNB allocation of auto compounds. That's what I just mentioned. Also, the pig pen governance voting system and the UI update for the animal farm. So there is already on the farm, we have these areas where it says coming soon, and some other metrics that he wants to have implemented. So these are things that I was talking about that he's now going to have basically launches and countdowns and all that stuff, and some marketing behind these updates, so he can have, as in his words, some small wins and get the community back into a positive sentiment, seeing that he is executing on time, and hopefully that starts to spin things around in regards to positive sentiment in the community. All right, somebody asked, what is the timeline for pig injections? So this is where he mentioned having the voting governance system. He said going to give a launch date in 3 or 4 days for the government system. I don't know. So I'm guessing in 3 to 4 days, he'll actually have a launch date that will be like a week or two out. So expect to see that sometime in December, which just means that all of the other projects and stuff that we had on the timelines are pushed further and further back. So I would imagine Dogs Roulette is now like January, and then Scratchy is February or something like that. He hasn't given any updates on that, but I don't see it happening all this year as originally was laid out. Dogs Roulette game, he touched on that, but didn't give a time frame for when that will be rolled out, so we're still waiting on that. Then someone asked about Stargate, and this was shocking to me that he was not aware of this, but he said Stargate's a great option as proper DeFi, has a lot of supporters. However, there's a risk of Alameda Finance bought out the Stargate pre-sale, so they hold a significant amount of supply of the token that the bridge pays out as a reward. If you guys follow my channel, you'll realize that that is no longer true. As of 10 days ago, you can actually read from Layer Zero Labs, who is the actual creator of Stargate. They made this post, and you may not be able to read this, but it's right here. This was on November 11th. Said, I want to talk about a few things around Layer Zero, both now and in the future. To start, we knew that being extremely well capitalized during a period like this would present some unique opportunities, and these last few days certainly have. We've worked around the clock for the past 72 hours to structure an agreement and have bought FTX Ventures / Alameda out of 100% of the equity position. So they don't own any of, Alameda no longer owns any of the Stargate pre-sale tokens. So I was surprised Forex was not aware of this, but he does stay in his cave with his head down and does lose track of time. He even mentioned in here that Animal Farm is only 2 weeks old and it's actually 3 weeks. So that does not surprise me. That would be the Forex standard time there. But maybe once they do their due diligence and research this, they'll find that this is still a good option. I don't know. I can't say if it's good or bad, but it definitely is not a risk in regards to the Alameda contagion because they don't own any supply of the tokens. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. But he did say that they were looking at other locations as well. I am not familiar with any better staking options, but once that comes into play, that you guys seen that on my channel, that is additional yield that can be generated and stuff like that. So that is positive, especially in this bear market. So we'll see where that goes. None of these questions I felt were really that relevant. Let's get to the drip. So he said basically they're going to be doing a drip specific AMA next week. I don't have a date for that as of yet, but should be this week now that you're watching this video. So definitely we're going to keep our eyes and ears peeled for that. But this is where he said AF is 2 weeks old and we just launched it. So that's where our focus is. It's where all the updates need to happen. And I've been saying way before the launch that I expected when we launched Animal Farm would be on all eyes. I guess you wouldn't say the eyes and stuff would be on Animal Farm if people want to be getting into the drip USD pool and selling some of their drip to get in and such. But this capital is not leaving the ecosystem, it's just migrating. And if you have properly evolved with the ecosystem, you are benefiting. So Ray mentioned this in his degen cipher. Forex echoes this. So basically, for all of you that are looking for drip to retrace, pump back up, stabilize, what I gathered from this is that it's going to continue to bleed out, and that is a feature, not a bug. Basically, he's saying that this is the evolution of drip, and it's not that he's taking his focus away from it. He's going to develop stuff in the layer 2 later on, but right now it is the season of Animal Farm, so drip is not of priority basically. So yeah, expect to just see negative price action for, again, the short to midterm. I'm going to be doing another video to give a projection on what that looks like, but I don't think this is going to turn around anytime soon. And even he mentioned in here that even if the layer 2, let me see where that's at. Here it is. Speaking about the layer 2, he said, and anything else we build for drip will be layer 2, will be second layer implementations, and sometimes they will take attention away from drip in the short term, but it will have a long-term positive effect for drip. So I don't quite know what that means, but it sounds like whatever his idea for layer 2 is, it's a separate staking contract maybe. I don't know, I'm speculating, but the way he said it will take attention away from drip. So right now you have the drip faucet and things of that nature, right? But if this layer 2 has drip being locked up in a different location to allow for these lottery wins and like avarice and the lobby and things of that nature, then that means it would not be going directly back to the existing tax vault. Maybe it creates a second tax, I don't know. But it just sounds like even when the focus is put back on drip initially, it's going to still be pain. That's what I gather from this. So take it however you want to read it, but basically don't expect to see any positive price action in drip in the short to midterm. That's how I read it. So what else we got? That was about it for that. So it will be interesting to catch up on the actual drip AMA and see what he says in there. So you guys know on my channel I gave that recommendation about dogs, but basically the way he mentioned this, he wants to keep drip and Animal Farm as separate as possible due to the gatekeeping and the way that people view drip. So instead of him trying to fight the uphill battle of getting drip recognized properly and not gate kept, he's instead deciding to ensure that there's no contagion in the Animal Farm. So I don't see there ever being any more implementation for drip in the existing Animal Farm ecosystem due to that reason. So he in this made it very clear that those are meant to be separate projects, and they will continue to be separate projects, and even further separated as the future goes, so that he said, quote unquote, it protects the investors. So I think that's his way of making sure that the Animal Farm remains its own entity, and all we'll probably be seeing is that 1% in, 2% out that's on the BUSD drip farm. So all we can do if you're focusing on drip is either do like you said, evolve, sell your drip, get into pigs because that's what everybody else is doing, or just hodl and hydrate and pray. I have no idea. I'm going to be doing an updated video, like I said, on my strategy, what to do going forward based on the time horizon. But yeah, it just, like I said, expect some more pain in the short to midterm. All right. Hopefully that's provided some value. I know it didn't provide any hopium, but hopefully some value. And if it did, you know the drill. Smash that HPO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and live daily and achieve your impossible. See you.